So, hello. Now let me tell you something. Linux, a system which I can completely use with just commands. It provides you CLI, command line interface, and you can do your stuff into the thing. Like wow, to me, who's just fascinated by just copying things around using the command prompt, this terminal thing seemed a must to be tried out. So, but I don't have a good enough network connection that I can download a gig file. Like, yeah, Geo was there, but it's struggling. 4G wasn't full-fledged deployed, so things were too slow. Loading up a YouTube video was a lot of buffering, and I have to skip things around. Like after watching a 10-second clip, I have to skip it a 5 seconds back to let the video load rather buffering it continues playing. That was the situation, and I couldn't download an ISO to try it on. But somehow I've watched few videos and figured out how, installing operating systems and stuff on YouTube. But somehow I got hands on to Ubuntu's ISO. So one of my friend helped me using their home network like Wi-Fi. I just downloaded Ubuntu ISO, but I don't know how to. Even though I have watched tutorials around, so out of just ignoring all the fact and that I could even brick my system further, I just took around the USB and just copied everything on the USB to the PC using the command prompt that I've been using, and I just formatted using my friend's PC and formatted and made a bootable of Ubuntu and just plugged it in and followed the YouTube tutorial. And guess what? I bricked the whole system. I couldn't figure out how to install it. Even though watching those YouTube tutorials, I ended up breaking the whole system because I have data on my hard disk, so I don't want to lose all these backed up data on the mobile phones that I've been stacking over for a long time. So, and to meanwhile, protecting my data was a challenge. Mostly, I used to run into blank errors, no bootable found, no bootable device found, no bootables found, no ISO found, no operating system found, errors, and at the end, I just got irritated and got myself made up that no matter what, I just want to use Ubuntu. I just want to use Linux in the terminal, and ended up formatting the whole hard disk clean, just clean wipe, erasing clean wipe, and then I just installed it. And even though I sacrificed my whole backup, my whole hard disk data, I ended up getting into these errors of grub, the bootloader errors. And following up, I somehow found my way and finally made Ubuntu run. It's completely different environment. Like, to the person who have been using Windows for a long time, Ubuntu is completely different. You have different applications, different settings, different menus. Like, the whole vibe of it is completely different. I don't have a file explorer. I didn't get a file explorer. I didn't get a Windows Start menu. It's completely different thing for me at the moment. But I started exploring things out, started opening the things that got in there, like opening the system, monitoring things, opening the settings, opening around terminal, and reading few articles on the web and copying those commands and doing things slowly. I just improved my way of using, but I didn't get into advanced stuff. I just use it as basic because I never had a proper network connection. It's just a havoc, and still now I don't have a proper internet connection. I just live off by my mobile's internet. Turning on a hotspot, I just use it. So later on, I just tried on Ubuntu for a meantime, and then I came to know something called Tails OS. Yeah, that fancy word called anonymous just got hit to me right at the head, and I just wanted to just encrypted everything. Anonymous, nobody can know me, and just got the Tails ISO and erased everything on the hard disk. I mean, on the PC, completely erased. It's just an empty thing. I don't have any data right now. All I just do is plug in the pen drive and boot it from the USB and use it. Just use it. No games, no media, no nothing. Just turn it on. I think I remember Tails OS comes with any games. I don't quite remember, but yeah, I just open the terminal, just do cd ls and create some files using touch, and using nano I just write some stuff and delete the with rm delete those files and create some directories, do some back and forth, and just exit. Yeah, I did for a while, then I realized it's not the best thing to be done, and I got my hands on mx linux. Just from this point right now, I started distro hopping. So there is this website. I think right at the moment it's not functional, but I think it's called distrotest.net. I started using distrotest.net, and I used to try out these different variants, distributions of Linux, and I just get get the one I just feel it would best serve my purpose, and install it on my PC and use it for a while. Mostly, I just suck at installing them properly. End up having these bootloader issues, partitioning issues. Truth be said, I suffered a long time partitioning this hard disk while installing. I never used to get. Still, I just have a bit confusion like partitioning, like this MBR, GPT, and their sizing. And yeah, I right now I have a bit of understanding, but back then it was how hard. Mostly I used to wipe the whole hard disk and do guided partitioning, like auto partitioning in most of the, if it's available, or I just install the whole system without any swap or nothing. It's just whole system on the whole hard disk. And I tried many. I then switched back to MX Linux for a while and used Pop OS, 4M Linux. I even tried these minimal stuff like Poppy Linux, Tynico, and because I don't have the connection to the internet, so it was okay for distro hopping for me most of the time. Like I'm just opening those distributions and going through each and every menu, every application they provide by default, and I just felt like it's not the good serving my purpose. So just next distribution. After a while, I came to know something called Unix Spawn, and looking at that, like the images on this subreddit, just give me gave me the next level of feel that why I'm missing this whole thing the whole time. I'm just wasting my time using the default. I can customize it. Wow. Then I started knowing what it's to be rising, and mostly you see rises of Arch Linux. But the problem I faced is installing Arch Linux on the PC, because in order to install Arch Linux, you need a network connection. Like even though you get an ISO or make a beautiful pen drive and plug it in, you can't install it offline. Yeah, there are ways to be doing it offline, but they are not worth of trying. Like mostly you end up scrapping your system, and I don't know about current situation. Back at the time, there are even not proper um, YouTube tutorials of installing Arch Linux in an offline way. So I'm talking about the base Arch Linux, not a Manjaro Linux or and stuff. So ended up uh, going around, and I just the first tries I have used, I don't know whether can I call it a rise or not. I started using Archcraft Linux. I think it comes pre-rise, like it comes all with these themes and selecting menus. All you have to get the ISO, and it just installs in offline way, and you just install it on and start doing your stuff. And I used it for a while, and it didn't seem well enough. Like it's already there, already made. It's not minimal. Yeah, I'm just I just want everything that I use to be minimal and mostly functional. So it never felt minimal because there are the themes on it like that I don't even use. Like I don't even switch on to the theme, but they are existing in the background. I tried like finding where all these files or these themes packs exist, and try to remove the unnecessary one and make the system minimal, and ends up breaking the system, and again installs it on a fresh way and started doing the same. And for a while, then slowly I one day I just recharged my mobile network like to the max, like around 2 gigs or 5 gigs, 10 gigs I think. And I just connected the mobile phone to the PC using a USB cable and turned on the USB tethering and tried to install Arch Linux. But every time I did the thing, I failed downloading the packages from the repository. It just downloads to a limit and ends having a network error or some issue, and didn't end up being complete. It just irritated me a lot, and I looked around, and I found the best Linux distribution that served my that just fits to my purpose, like perfectly fits like a Lego. It's Void Linux. Yeah, it is minimal, lightweight, and has a rolling release, and you can install it offline. Wow. Then, but the problem with Void Linux is it's different. It doesn't use the init system of Arch Linux. It uses a different init system called Run It. To me, as a beginner to Linux, and mostly who's just distro hopping stuff, just trying out different distributions over the bare minimum, I couldn't figure that out. All I did was copied the commands of Arch Linux over to here, but it ended bad. And slowly I figured it out, went through the Void Linux documentation, read the documentation, figured out. Slowly I somehow managed to build my first tries on Void Linux with i3, the whole ecosystem of i3, like i3wm, i3log, and i3 bar and stuff, and started to tweak it slowly, just making little configuration changes, adding my own custom keybinds to the config file, and making it mine, like making it be mine the way I use. And I just then later completing, like making it a satisfied level of customization, I started to deep dive into the rabbit hole of Linux, actual Linux, the command line way of using Linux. And then on I just continued my way. and till I'm learning about Linux. Every day there is something new that I learn. Like it's already been from a long time, but I came to know about it on today. I came to have the idea of it today. I understood there is a command that this does this. You can check memory in this way. You can create a file in this way. You can manipulate this file to perform this action. So I have used Linux. I just started using Linux in such a way. Hope it might relate you even if you have started using Linux at some point. Maybe try to relate to you. Yeah, that's what for this video. See you again in some new video. Stay hydrated. Peace.